All right, so this bed back here used to be a pine needle bed. There used to be giant trees right behind me. They all got cut down last year, so I need to make this grass. So we're gonna do a little spring seeding project here, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that. I've got the bed all prepped and ready. I just need to add a little bit of topsoil and a sand mix to level it, get a little more level on this edge here, just because it's starting to sink a little bit. So we'll get that all level, and I'll show you how to do that right now. Pew! 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 These bags say they're 40 pounds. I think there's 20 pounds of dirt in here, and then they go crazy with the water. They just stick it on a scale and they fill it up with water and go, yep, 40 pounds. Because this thing is kind of rock hard. So it'll be interesting trying to break this up. It's like a solid brick of soil, but I'm sure it's full of weed seeds as well, so that's fun. And we'll put some preventative down, some tenacity as well, so that this weed seeds that are in here don't go crazy. I'm gonna mix a bag and a half of this with a bag of sand so that it has a little more porous, a little easier seed bed for the seed that I'm gonna put down. So put that. And then this one's dry. Half the weight. Lots of wood chips. All right, then we'll just try and mix this up as best as we can without tipping over this. Let's see. Insert heavy breathing. Insert dad noises. All right. Now it's pretty crumbly. This feels like a rock. It is a rock. Oh yeah. Nice. So I got that to deal with, but this will crumble up pretty nicely. I swear there's no way. That's a rock too. Oh yeah. Well, that'll be fun. That's why it's 40 pounds. There's these giant rocks in here. Giant. I mean, it's got to be 40, 50 pounds by itself right there. I mean, look at that thing. That could be a problem for me since I reel mow, but I think this will all get worked in the ground. No problem. But you can kind of see in here the sand and the soil mix where now it's just kind of soft material. Even if I put it together, it kind of still just breaks apart. That's exactly what I want. So I want that seed to sit right on top of this, or in it for that matter. Again, cheap soil, large stick. But yeah, this will be good. This will be good for the seed, the roots to be able to get down in here pretty good, as opposed to some of my native soil that's just straight up red clay. This is the native soil. You can just see the color difference. That is just straight up red clay, just turns into a ball. This is a big mess. AT&T just installed fiber in our neighborhood, and they went through and they destroyed other people's lawns. Luckily, that's my neighbor's. That's mine. I just put a little hole right in my yard, easily fixable. So you can see the color difference there, and there, and there. So this will be good. This is how much it covered. It covered almost half, probably a third. I've got 5 bags of this, so should be good. It's literally just a light top dress basically for this, and to fill in the little dip that's right here along this edge, because I did have the edge very significantly cut in there. So let's finish the rest of this. Shoo-wee. I tell you what, that looks about as good as it's gonna get here. You can see that this line is really real nice. So I used a garden rake, or your average garden rake, to just push the piles around and spread them around, and then I used a landscape rake to make that thing smooth as butter, baby. One issue I'm gonna have, that's not a worm, that's a root. So I cut out massive roots, but when I tilled up the ground, all these little guys are just sticking up. So as the grass grows, I'm just gonna have to snip these off and just let them decompose in the ground. You can see right here, this looks like freaking driftwood or tree, a whole tree. This is my hand and that is, I can't get my whole hand around that. So there's huge roots underneath this whole thing. After my back broke several times and I cried like a baby and couldn't sleep at night due to my old age, I decided to stop doing that and just cover it with some dirt. So we'll see how that goes. All right, let's talk about grass seed. So I'm putting down 3 different types of grass seed. Putting down ½ a pound of Barenbrug Turf Blue HGT. So I'm gonna put down ½ a pound of that. This is just about 280 square feet, so I don't need that much. This is probably overkill, but it's spring seeding, so a lot of this is probably gonna die off in the summer heat. So even though it's gonna be irrigated, it probably will die off substantially. And then I'm putting down ½ a pound of After Midnight Kentucky Bluegrass. So 2 different types of Kentucky Bluegrass. That is a darker type of Kentucky Bluegrass, so I can get a little darker color. And then I'm putting down a mix of perennial ryegrass. So I got it all mixed up here in this bucket. I've kind of mixed it all around. Those larger seeds that you see in there, that is the ryegrass. The little yellow seeds are your HGT, and I don't even think you can see the other type of bluegrass in there. It's just so small. So we're gonna put this in the spreader, spread it out evenly, and then we're gonna put this over the top of it. I did just throw down a little bit of fertilizer, and then we're gonna knock this out. If you can see this, way too much. So this is right where I was turning around. So I'm just gonna move this around. This is kind of what you want to see. So you can see all the different seeds in there. The little tiny bluegrass seeds, you probably can't really see them. You can see the yellow Barenbrug, but yeah, this is pretty good coverage all throughout. All right, so I'm gonna use this medieval torture tool to work this seed into this soil. So you'll see the before and after here. And this, really what this does is it just breaks this up and gets that seed right underneath that soil. It's not gonna hurt the seed to run over this like this. So I'm gonna do this over the whole thing, but I'm not gonna go that slow, but I kind of wanted to show you. This is what it looks like. You know, you can see the seed right there on top of the soil, and now most of that seed is worked in here, and then I'll just roll over this with a roller, and then I'll put the seed blanket down. Kind of what you want it to look like. You can't hardly see any of the seeds on the surface now, so what I'm gonna do is take my reel mower with a roller on the back. I'm not gonna turn the blades on, but I'm just gonna roll over this so it just flattens this down so that it doesn't wash away in any rain that we're gonna get here this week. It's also gonna be covered with a straw blanket, so that should work just fine. Shoo! That is about as flat as a squirrel on a backcountry road. Tell you what, look at that. Nice. So this is a nice seed bed here for these seeds. Once I get this covered up, it'll be beautiful. Now all we gotta do is take our leaky hose, put some H2O on this bad boy, and we're rock solid. So let's get it done. You don't wanna soak it. You just wanna get the seed wet. So I'm just gonna briefly go over this. Maybe if the water wants to come out. There we go. Just gonna briefly go over this, get it wet. One thing you notice here is that it wasn't wide enough to cover the whole thing. Now, if I'm gonna have a space, I would rather have a space that's not entirely covered by the fence, right? So I would much rather have this not have grass on it than this, because it's right in the middle of my lawn, right? So another thing, I need to get spikes because I'm just holding this down with rocks and little slats of wood here. So I am going to be taking this up as soon as this starts showing grass coming up a little bit through here. I'm going to pull this up because I don't want this mesh net in my lawn forever, right? So I won't be able to, you know, do anything if this is in my lawn. So this stuff's terrible. I would never recommend putting this down and just letting it go. Always pull this up if you can. If you don't care, leave it, but you're not going to be able to, I mean, if you aerate your lawn ever or anything, do any yard work where you actually have to get down in the turf, it's gonna bind up everything. So I'm gonna pull this up as soon as the grass germinates and starts coming through, maybe about an inch long or so. I'll pull it up and we'll just go from there. All right, that's gonna wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.